They believe all the fables so more books can be sold. But it seems they only replace one religion for another. When it comes right down to it, they're surrounded by messed up sisters and brothers. Brothers still treat sisters bad, though they say they're a family. They're as messed up and dysfunctional as any group of black people can be. Sisters treat all the brothers bad. They curse brothers and cheat. They plot and they sneak into other men's sheep. Their children are smart. They're educated real fine. Yet they're still a messed up part of this black world that we find. They think they somehow are better than other blacks that they see. They are as messed up as the other blacks that don't know their black history. They walk around with their noses up, yet their brain is on the ground. They can't do a thing about the black problems they see around town. But some of them make an effort, but real history they lack. They prefer made-up history about how whites were once black. An elephant used to be a rhino, I guess. Then one gene split from the other, so one moved over the left. They ask things like what evil forces and where did evil begin. They're so stuck on the beginning that they're reaching their end. Their enemies know black weaknesses. They were sent here to make blacks confused, believing 10% in black history, so 90% is removed. Being replaced by white men to control blacks, though blacks say that it's not. But there's a large chunk of black history that these blacks haven't got. It's the piece most important of the pieces removed. It's the piece that they're supposed to fix, the piece their children will lose. It's the black world here and now that needs their concentration. If they don't fix their part now, they'll mess up other black generations. Our elders got straight A's too, without any hesitation. The difference is they got straight A's in a black world education. Now what we have is a bunch of uneducated black folks whose children will have no defense, and a bunch of smart white educated black folks whose children will have no black common sense. Okay, we're going to talk about some things that he don't see the mistakes of immigration. What kind of species would hand their children, their offspring, over to another species to be taught? And what exactly did black folks think that white folks were going to teach them in their attempts to become more like white folks? That's what you got. And so if you know you made a mistake, then you got to fix it. But there are some blacks who still have a hard time admitting that we made a mistake. So let's see if we can help them out a little bit. I sent a letter to all blacks in April of last year. I told them that black children were dying and living in great fear. We made a plan to get together and solve this gruesome pain. But most of my blacks did not show up, they said, because of rain. I sent a letter to all blacks in May of that same year. I told them black mothers were crying out for their sons' lives, which they hold dear. We made a plan to get together so we could make things right. But when it came to pick a time, some did not like the night. I sent a letter to all blacks in June for Father's Day to help black fathers to raise their son instead of just child support to pay. We made a plan to get together so we could help them out, to help them understand all the wonderful things that fatherhood is all about. When we can get together and for black communities do what is necessary. The problem is that many blacks only black in February. And now, we got a lot of black folks that, they're sitting around and asking, we need solutions. I'm asking people for solutions. I need people to tell me the solutions that they have. But if you're sitting back and asking people for solutions, then that means that you have none of your own. Perhaps you need to stop asking people for solutions and start coming up with solutions. That's just my little 2 cents. All right, so we got all these black folks that done decided over the past 30 and 40 years of integration that they are now African Americans and that they they have overcome. So let's see if they tell the truth. A white person born in South Africa decides to take the American oath. To become an American citizen, you may take this as a joke. But when the papers are finished up, guess what they become? An African American with all of its benefits. You may think that would be done. With all the things for minorities, why do blacks keep getting less? Blacks got tricked into letting others benefit from the things blacks thought to get. Blacks get tricked into accepting titles that non-black folks can use. In schools, in jobs, in real estate, black people played the fool. But there's one word that blacks can use that no one else can take. The word is black. It unites us all and weeds out any faith. So let's check the damage and take a look and see where we went astray. And if we get back to our black minds, we'll restore the black world someday. So let's begin. You call yourself African American, yet you do not act African. You call yourself African American, yet you do not dress African. You call yourself African American, but you do things to your hair, eyes, and body to make you look less African. After 400 years in white folks' shadow, many blacks have forgotten the word that unites Africans. Okay. Let's see what else we got for them. We're going to have a good time today. Y'all know how I am about poetry. And so we're going to see if we can, by the time this is over, help him understand a little bit about what's going on. All right, this one is called If You Had a Second Chance. If you knew you had the chance, would you change your life today? And if you had a second chance, would you find a better way? And if you had the chance right now, would you try to find your father? And if you had just half a chance, would you be there for your daughter? And if God gave you another chance and it was your final one, would you change your present circumstance and fight to raise your son? If blacks had just one final chance, would they rely on one another? If blacks knew what God had in his plans, would they stop killing their brothers? If blacks had the chance that parents had, would they build black neighborhoods? If blacks had the chance to change the world, would they make it something good? You took the chance to hear this poem, and I knew that you would. Now take the chance to talk to God and go do what you should. For when you know the power of God, this life will be a sense. And when you know how the devil works, you won't be released. All right. We're going to talk about solutions. Things that black folks did wrong, mistakes they made by turning away from their blackness and getting caught up in trying to be like white. So now let's see what we got. If you really want to be a revolutionary, let's see what we got for them. All right. If you really want to be part of the revolution, then stop. Stop aborting and abandoning black children. We're talking about solutions. You want to get out there and deal with some solutions? Is this what you got to do? You got to stop, and you got to be honest about the fact that you need to stop. Stop aborting and abandoning black children. Stop begging your other races for help. Stop cursing in your conversations. Stop depending on a government that enslaves you. Stop encouraging and supporting predators. Stop feuding with your black family members over mess. Stop giving away your black family land. Stop helping your enemies take over your world. Stop investing your black dollars in non-black businesses. Stop jumping through hoops for your enemy's crumbs. Stop killing off your own people. And stop letting your enemies teach your children. Stop mating with other races. Stick with your own. Stop needing more than you can afford. Stop owing more than you can pay. Stop promoting the destruction of black history. Stop quitting when things get rough. Stop relying on someone to save you. Stop selling your black people out to your enemies. Stop telling black children that blacks are the problem. Stop using negative black images just to make money. Stop voting for non-black candidates over black. Stop whining about the problems in the black community and do something. Stop Xeroxing and stop borrowing black books and then buy them. Stop Xeroxing and borrowing black books and buy them. You got a lot of people that say they don't know what's going on, they don't know what happened in history. That's because if a book costs money, they don't buy it. And if it's in a library, they want to Xerox it. They don't want to go and buy a copy so they can read how other black folks got out of stuff. And stop yelling at each other about who's right and who's wrong. And stop zoning committees from demolishing black communities. Now, if he want to do something, he want to roll up his sleeves and get busy, he can pull that off of the DAC or DYC TV website and get some things going on it for himself, and stop asking people for solutions and start coming up with some solutions himself that would be being part of the solution and not just part of the problem. All right, let's see what he can start if he decides to be so inclined. Let's see if I can find something for him that he can start. Let's try this one here. There we go. This is, if you really want to be part of the revolution, then start. Start accepting responsibility for educating your own children. Start being proud to be black. Start creating your black family legacies. Start developing your own black businesses. And start encouraging your black children to be business owners. Start family-owned businesses again. Start giving money to black education. Start housing programs in your community. Start investing your black dollars in black businesses. Start job-creating programs in your community. And start keeping your black community safe. And start learning how the political game is played. Start making your black world your priority. And start networking with other black people. Start organizing organizations that fix black problems. And start preserving and promoting black history. And start planting family trees again. And start reading about what's going on. Start setting weekly goals for your family. Start teaching the next generation better. Start using black resources better. Start voting in each and every election. Start working on inventions that make black life better. Start Xeroxing and printing businesses to produce your own media. Start your assessments of black progress. And start zoning your own black community. You want a list of solutions? There you go. Clearly, he had not listened to the show. Clearly, he had not visited either of the websites. And clearly, he is so busy asking people for solutions that he neglected to give some of his own. But I'm going to go ahead and help him out and give him some anyway. Until you start doing these things, the situation can only get worse. So let me see what else I got for him. We got about 17 minutes. Let me see what else I can give him. This one called Our Unity Starts With You. He's looking outside of himself for everybody else to tell him what we should do about black-on-black crime. Let's see what's going on. You wait for all black nations at once to stand up and to say, we will not take this anymore. It's time to find our way. You wait for black politicians to change the laws that are used to keep us down, to vote against injustices that white folks are passing now. You wait for black leaders to lead again, and this time lead us right, to liberation and self-sufficiency and not just back to white. You wait for pastors to fix the church and bring blacks back to God, to make the churches real again and not just a facade. You wait for black parents to spend the time it takes to raise their kids, to tell them all the good in life and how to avoid the bad we did. You wait for black teachers to reach black